Hello, how is everybody doing out there? Glad to be here. Oh my gosh. Sometimes it seems like it is a little bit like, whoa, I really got to make sure I get here. Here we are. My throat is a little dry. Hey, how are y'all? Just wanted to pop on today and share a little bit of full moon wisdom and magic. Hello to the queen, Eileen Iyami Atkins in the crib, baby. You caught me, sister friend. Eileen be making sure she stay on point with all the notifications from Goddess Body Mind Spirit and Tyra Omilade. So, yeah, let's go on ahead and jump into this. I thought I got rid of the music, but you know what? I did not. Okay, so um, happy full moon in Leo. And I must admit, the moon is not even in Leo at this point. It's in Virgo, but it's okay. It's a-okay. And let me see. Yes. Just want to pull that up and start talking about the wisdom for this week. So I'm excited about this week. I'm excited about this full moon in Leo. I always love anything in Leo just because it's just it's such a beautiful, inspirational energy. Yes, Eileen. I do want to say just hello to everybody, especially also the hashtag replay queens, because I know several times or several people watch this in replay. So hello to you queens. I appreciate you so much for watching. Um, but yeah, I love anything in Leo, and I just have been dancing everywhere and just feeling so full by this moon. And so the full moon energy lasts for, let me just skip to that. The full moon energy lasts for about 2 weeks. So if you haven't done full moon rituals, I say go for it. Do something for this full moon. Celebrate yourself. What is this full moon bringing up for you? And what is it one of the quotes I want to offer to you is what's coming is going. So maybe something is coming up. It's a little bit tough. It's a little bit challenging, but it's for you to face. It's for you to address your subconscious mind. It will bring up, um, when you're ready, it'll bring up some things to get you to resolve them. If there's some unresolved emotion, something unresolved, something that needs to be healed or completed even, the subconscious mind will bring it up. And it seems like sometimes we're being tortured, but it's honestly how we were designed to, first of all, save be protected from things that are painful or traumatic, things that we're not quite ready to deal with. And then it's another mechanism in there. Well, we will go into the subconscious mind will suppress it. It will make it just get embedded deep within us. It's not resolved so that we can handle it. You think of hearing people, if it's not you, who experienced some deep trauma, and it was like they had some response that you weren't quite expecting to see, because the subconscious mind is protecting, that person's subconscious mind is protecting him or her or them. And so when we get to that point when we are ready to um heal it, it's like we have the capacity. And maybe it's you're going for some goal that you want, something that you want to invite into your life. And that will come up. And it'll seem like, see, there we go. We want it to manifest A, and it's all these thoughts going around, and these memories often is what it is. It's like this memory. If you don't full on remember it, it'll just be like this pattern that happens, that it just completely and totally, it's like self-sabotage. Or it feels like some truth is coming up for why you don't deserve to have that thing, when perhaps once we begin to tune in a little bit more, we can begin to see that no, actually, I'm in a position either because I'm going for something, and whatever this stuck emotion, this stuck memory, this unresolved memory is within me is keeping me from getting there. And the universe is showing me this is what you need to let go of in order to get further down the path to where you want to be. Or it's just, it's coming up because you've been doing your healing work and now you're ready to face it. You have the tools, you have the capacity. Yeah, it may be challenging and difficult to address, but the subconscious mind, it is infinite wisdom within you. It knows you're ready to handle this, queen. You're ready to handle this. So be open to these kinds of experiences, not only at this full moon, but at any full moon. Hey, Zellico. Eileen said, purging and receiving. That is beautiful. And sometimes, it might be purging in one way. Like, one of my manifestation teachers says, one way to invite more money into your life is to clean out like your purse, your backpack, whatever you carry your stuff in, clear out the environment around you, clean your car out. This will help purging. It creates a space for something else to move into because the universe doesn't like an empty spot. It's going to fill that spot with something. But it's more difficult for us to invite in and call in what we want when we just have so much stuff packed into our lives, packed into our bodies, into our emotions, and into our minds. This is one of the reasons why it's just so important to constantly do work to clear and purify our energy, our aura, our bodies, our minds, our emotions, day in and day out. We're pretty good with the body. Most of us, we're going to go take our shower. We're going to do something to our hair. We'll put on fine clothes and, that kind of thing day in and day out. Well, we can do the exact same thing with our energy. So, yeah, I think the full moon is very important for that. Let me pull up the full moon. No, Planet Watcher. Let me just tell y'all a few things. I talked about this in my inner circle the other day. So, see, yeah, you can see the moon now is already in Virgo. But if I go back far enough, no, it was around noon, I think. Oh, I went to the wrong day altogether. What day is this? Okay, I was trying to do the hour. Okay, that's good enough. So, yeah, this moon has well, first of all, it's in Leo. It was at 28 degrees of Leo. And one of the things I ascertained about that moon is that it's a moon that has the energy of Leo, Aries, and Cancer in it. So I did predict that this moon is, and over the next 2 weeks, it can conjure up emotion. But the other thing that I'll add in there is that it can conjure up intuition. So trust your gut, trust your intuition. This one was what did I call this one? Aqua, Libra, and let me see here. Libra, and then the next one is going to be Scorpio. Yeah. I think that's what I said it was. So, this moon of balance between Leo and Aquarius, it's like, how do you allow yourself to shine in a way where it contributes to the collective? And it's interesting because one of the things that I think is important is that we begin to embrace. I was listening to a book the other day and I was like, I believe this. This is what my position is, but sometimes I feel like people don't believe me. So I'm going to say, this is my belief. And then I'm going to tell you the book that I read where an elder said the same thing. My thing ever since about 2017, 2018 is it is apparent that I don't have a lot of control over anything other than what I actually do have control over. And that's the only thing to focus on. And that the best thing I can do when I see things in the world that I don't like, when it seems like the world is going to hell in a handbasket, which it is not, then it is important for me to just dive very deeply into my destiny. What is it that what was it that I was born to do? What are my gifts and talents? And I encourage you to do the same. The more that you look at the world and you feel like I'm not sure about what's going on out here, the number one goal would be, and this is what I think this moon can highlight for us. What are your gifts and your talents? And are you really letting them shine? What emotions are coming up, perhaps, that are preventing you from allowing yourself to completely shine? Where do you need to have the courage and the confidence to allow yourself to just be you? What emotions are keeping you from shining? And look at why it's important for you to walk in your gifts and your talents, that so that because it will help the collective, which is Aquarius. That's where the sun is right now. That's what's making this the full moon. Your gifts and talents will help the collective. And so that's part of what we're looking at with this moon is balancing, like, and another thing is sometimes, even though actually Aquarius is a little bit of a an energy. I'll tell you, my husband, oh, I didn't say the elder, Malidoma Somé. I started listening to one of his books, and he was like, pretty much the only hope for us is personal transformation. I'm like, see, that's what I've been telling folk. Elder, may you rest in peace. Oh, Rachel's here. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Peg, how are you? So yeah, that's important for us, y'all, is to understand that personal transformation, that is the greatest gift you can give the world. Transform yourself. And so Aquarius to me is a little bit of conflictual energy. And my husband, who is an Aquarius rising, knows nothing about astrology, is not into astrology. But I remember before I knew anything about astrology, I would try to say, well, like describe him like you're like this and like that. He would say, look, Tyra, don't put me in a box. You can't put me in a box. I am an enigma. I'm like, uh, okay. We call my husband here on this channel. One of y'all said it was like extreme divine masculine energy. He is so extreme divine masculine. Like he is masculine energy on fleek. Um, but he's an Aquarius. And so Aquarius is like, hey, this is the collective. We need to have equity. We need to distribute resources. Um, to everybody. Like everyone should be able to have food, clothing, and shelter, and we all need to come together. It's like democracy, and the system of nobody should be hungry, right? At the same token, it's like one of the most rebellious energies. If you know Aquariuses, they are a little bit rebellious. Not a little bit, they rebellious. Like they don't mean to be rebellious, but that's what Aquarius does. It's like it'll bring up the rebellion to change society, right? And so um it's energy that's about being weird and different, but at the same time it's still about the collective. It's confusing. But it's like we really need to understand, when do we need to align with the collective? Are we aligned with the proper or the right collective that will support us in whatever it is that we're working on? So if you're a poet, you might need to be hanging out with other poets. If you're a business person, you might need to be hanging out with other business people. By the same token, you got your way of doing things, they got their way of doing things. These are the kinds of things that we want to be thinking about. Okay, so beautiful full moon is also activating the eclipse points in Taurus and Scorpio. So over the next 2 weeks, I do encourage you to write down like what is happening. Journal everything. Don't let anything go unnoticed. If it stands out to you, it may be important information for when we hit the eclipses in May, April, May, something like that. So I think that's something to really consider, also. Yeah. Your life is gonna be going in the new direction in that Taurus house, and you've gotta release and let go of something in that Scorpio house. So you may wanna be looking at, is something coming up, like a new direction for you to go in right now? Or is there something coming up at this moon where it's like, "Hey, you need to let this go. Like, seriously, let it go." These are the things that you wanna be keeping note of, okay? So, let's go back over here. I'm excited about this week. Mercury has moved into Aquarius, which is a very good placement for Mercury. It's another energy that I encourage you. First and foremost, I want to just tell y'all we are still in integration time. Okay. Mercury is still not fully out of the shadow period yet. And then Venus is still in shadow, which means that she's going back over the degrees that she retrograded. Mercury is still going back over the degrees that it retrograded in. So we don't full on feel totally like we're moving forward. It feels like we're moving forward through integration. What are the lessons you need to learn? That's what integration is. But it is a time where you can get a lot of downloads, like some great ideas. Maybe there's something that you've been wanting to make progress on, and you'll start getting ideas on how to make those that forward movement. Yes, Janae. Aquariuses, when you raise them. My mother-in-law used to say, now that I think about it, I've never like fully made the connection. She used to say, my husband was just so rebellious, so difficult. And now I'm like, okay, like Aquarius is always going to buck the system. You can't just ask Aquarius, follow the rules. They're gonna be like, okay, first of all, who came up with these rules? Like, do these rules make sense? If the rules don't make sense to Aquarius, forget about it. Forget about it. They will rebel, but they naturally are rebellious. So it's something you have to kind of learn how to like navigate and not take personally. But for all the Pisces queens out there, sun, moon, and rising, it's our time. My birthday is in Pisces season. I'm so excited. I will be 52, and I was thinking, you know what? 52 is the same kind of energy as 40. So I'm like, this explains why I see women in their early 50s looking like they just freaking shining. So yeah, 52 this year, baby. I can't wait. I'm a proud 50 pluser. My daughter is 2. She just turned, wait a minute. She just turned 12 on the 8th. Send help. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh. Aquarius is, I had an Aries, so I can relate a little bit. So let me give y'all really quickly, because I actually have a coaching session shortly. I am a one-to-one life coach. I use astrology and my oracles and true, like modern day life coaching tools with the ladies who are in one-to-one coaching with me. And, if you want transformation, I call it the Goddess Transformation one-to-one coaching program, then I invite you to join me. Yeah, you probably want to have a little call with me before conversation, so we can make sure it's for you. But I do coach, and I would love to have you join me in my one-to-one coaching. Also, I'm going to start doing new moon workshops. So the first one is going to be on March 1st. God has helped me because I'm going to a training and I'll be coming back from the training. But I want to start doing new moon workshops because that new moon is how you change your life. Working with that new moon energy is how you can definitely make gains. And I can give you all the information you need to know in order to make that moon work for you. So be looking for in the next maybe 24 to 48 hours, I'll be putting up where you can join in and register for that. The workshop will probably be about 2 to 3 hours. Everyone will walk away with personal information as to what does this moon mean for you? Okay. So be looking for those new moon workshops. So let's talk about Hold on one second, y'all. Let's talk about the affirmations for this week. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Um, Let me see here. Yes, I love that, Eileen, working on Etsy. Yes. Okay, I am mindful. I understand the impact my energy has on the world. So I just encourage you this week. Well, actually, always. I am mindful. Now, I'm going to tell you what, the way they wrote this one is about being mindful of how you impact the world. But I encourage you to just be mindful of your life, be mindful of your breath. Be mindful of the blessings that are coming into your life. Be mindful of all the things that you have in your life, all of the blessings. That is what being mindful it is one of the biggest power tools you can use in your spiritual practice is to just stay anchored in now. Because when we're living in the future and living in the past, we are really leaving our power or putting our power, our ashe, our life force energy in places that we're not actually using it right here, right now, where it has the greatest impact. And I made a video, I think I opened it up publicly, where I talk about um, the what you're doing in the present moment, being mindful of what you're doing in the present moment is dictating what your future self has to deal with in the future. And so if you are, wanting to manifest something in your life, you want to ask yourself in this present moment, is this version of myself setting up a future version of myself on the way to where what I want to manifest? Am I setting myself up for success, or am I setting myself up for struggle? What am I setting myself up for in this present moment? And how do we do that? We do it through being mindful, being staying right here in this moment. And the other thing is it's a affirmation that I love called I am resourceful, because that's where the resources lie, to be honest with you, in the present moment. Maybe I have to go in the past and look at a lesson that I learned, remember something I learned. Maybe it's just straight up something I learned from a book or a class or something. I'm gonna have to go dig back in the past, but guess where it's gonna have the impact? In the present moment, right? Maybe I have to go out to one of my future selves and say, "Girl, how you get here? Hook a sister up. What do I need to be doing right now?" But guess what? I got to come right back into this present moment and apply that resource in this present moment. Okay. So here's the next one for this week. I am well rounded. My skills and capabilities enrich my life and those around me. So I am well rounded. Now, I'm going to tell you something that I would suggest if you don't believe you're well rounded. What I suggest is that you sit down and you think about all the things that you've done in your life. Like maybe in high school, you were a cheerleader, you were some type of leader, an athlete, something like that. Like, what did you do when you were younger? And then in your 20s, what were all the skills that you picked up? What were the experiences that you picked up? And write down, what these experiences are that are now enriching. They're a part of like how you navigate the world, and just keep stepping your way forward. What are the jobs that you've had? Where have you volunteered? What have you learned? And maybe it's out of hobby. Like I used to just be an African dancer as a hobby, but I learned skills that were so good that I actually became like an actual teacher where I made money. That was my living for a while. Um, and so you want to think about all these kinds of experiences and all the jobs and the skills that you've picked up, all the knowledge base, and it will show you are more well-rounded than you think. A lot of people think because they don't have certain education, qualifications, or whatever, that they're not well-rounded. You're alive. You're well-rounded. It's just about taking stock. And once we begin to realize we're well-rounded, or you know what? If you're like, you know what, girl, I'm not well-rounded. I spend too much time doing A. And so maybe this is an invitation for you to look at where am I not well-rounded? Like what do I need to do to just bring in something extra that would help me. Maybe you take a class, or maybe you go join one of these Aquarian communities, where people they're wanting to learn the same thing as you. We could look at it both ways. So I just encourage you to think about, how can you be well rounded? Yes, thank you. I appreciate you, Eileen. Yes, Eileen is the real MVP. Okay. Janae is a Pisces. Come on, Janae. Turn up, baby. Turn up. Yes, I'm 52, Peg. Well, I'll be 52 on my birthday. My husband's like, "You always going in advance." But yeah, I'll be 52 on my birthday. Ah, thank y'all so much. Eileen is a Pisces moon. Yes, yes. Thank you. Yes, I will keep y'all posted um as soon as possible. Okay? Okay. So just last little bit, the for my Lemurian deck, I pulled what is called loving compassion. And I'm just going to give you the keywords: unconditional love, empathy, compassion. This is so Pisces as we move into Pisces energy. I didn't know what it said. I just was like, I just show up and I just share. Friendliness, goodwill, benevolence, beyond duality. That would be Pisces, because Pisces is what is beyond the seen, it's the unseen world. Safe space, forgiveness through expanded perspectives. And so that is very Ma'at, actually. It is about being able to see the big picture to the point where it's like, well, I see why that happened. Like I have, I've learned a major lesson. I know what Ma'at teaches is some things make me feel warm and fuzzy, and some things make me feel just warm. And so, but Ma'at says it's all for my highest and greatest good. And open-hearted joy. So, yeah, this is a week to have that kind of compassion for yourself, and to be loving and nurturing, and that Cancerian energy that I said is in this moon. Like, how can you love on yourself, cut yourself some slack? It sounds sometimes to me, I think people don't like that kind of talk, even though I'm finding more and more women like, girl, please, let's go easy. Let's be easy with this. But we're a very violent nation. For those of us in the United States, this is it's embedded in us, and sometimes it looks like we're just being tough on ourselves, when actually we're being a little bit violent. We're being mean. It's like you would never say certain things to other people that you say to yourself. Not the ladies here. For the most part, y'all like taking care of everybody, right? So it's important to offer yourself compassion over this next week. So that's what I have for you all today. Thank you all so much for being here. Let me know, how has this full moon been for you? You can say, girl, it was on point, or you can be like, a little emotional, but I'm here. I'm still alive. And also, maybe just tell me one thing that you're taking from this reading that I've done for you, this wisdom sharing, that you want to take into your week, so that it'll keep you in balance, or, it'll just be, the way I look at it is, the wisdom is a guiding light. So, what will be your guiding light from what I've shared with you all this week? I appreciate you all so very much for being here as a part of this live stream, and for watching the replay. And please know that I think about you all the time. I care about you, and I appreciate you. Happy full moon in Leo. Eileen, you ready? We about to take this baby out. You know what? I'm gonna give it just a little bit more upbeat music, taking it out. Come on. Eileen, you ready? Y'all are amazing. Don't ever stop dancing. Don't ever stop believing in yourself. As a matter of fact, I want you to go full out queen, full out royalty. Okay. When people want to know who you are, just go on ahead and stretch your stuff. Be the queen that you are. Love you all. Thanks for being a part of my queendom. Peace.